to the shameless plugs portion of our show real quick and get it kicked off. We're going to start over here to the left with my friend Steph. He's going to introduce himself. Why don't you tell us about yourself and where we can find you online, Steph?
Hi, how you doing? I'm Steph. I'm an electric rock and metal harpist. Also, I play folk music, and you can pretty much find me on like Facebook or YouTube. I don't make very many YouTube videos, but you can definitely find me on Facebook. Just
Right on.
STEPH Overton. That's it.
Like way over a ton, but no A in there, like over a ton. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Awesome. Sorry, I didn't no fat shaming there. I'm just kidding. So Sid, yeah, what are you plugging in today?
I'm Sydney. I work at a medical day spa called Peel Palace. Right now we're off of the Louetta, like Spring Klein area, off of Louetta Road, and we're running a bunch of specials. So visit us at www.peelpalace.com and give us a call. I'll be the one scheduling your appointment.
Yeah, mention the Whine show when you call up the Peel Palace, and you'll be receiving a free microdermabrasion. So that'll be really cool.
Yep.
And like I said, my name's Harley. You guys know me. I'm so happy to be here. My name's right there. And if you guys want to follow me on Facebook, you can just type in that name that you see below, and we will also, get connected, get you on the show. If you have any friends that are musicians, artists, or just want to get their name out there and spread their brand, or be a local Houston entrepreneur, they can also contact us at Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, the Whine Show. That's about it. This is Monika.
Hey guys, I'm Monika. So by day, I work for a plastic surgeon, Dr. Yarish, over at Renew UMD. It's awesome. Boobs, Botox, lasers. It kind of goes all over. We cover everything. So if that's something you're into, just give us a call. And at night, I'm a rock star. You can find me on Facebook, Monika Leigh, and it's Monika with a K, and Leigh is Leigh. Also Instagram, Monk Leigh 1, and it's monk like monkey, MONK. Leigh 1. You can find it not here.
not below.
Not right here.
Do people sing a chorus line at your work?
No.
This and that. Sorry.
That'd be great. All right, so yeah, Xavier.
How's it going, guys? I'm Xavier. Guevara. My band name is Blue Doom. You can find us on Facebook.com/Blue Doom Band, where we barely have anything, but I do have some really cool videos of us playing our songs over at 90.1. So check that out. If you want to know what we sound like, you can find us often at the Monkey Duck on Mondays.
Yes.
You can find us at Tuesdays at Avant Garden every once in a while. I might be there this upcoming week.
Avant Garden Tuesdays, yeah. Those are fun.
And also a big shout out to my personal friend James over at Black Dogs for always being there.
Ooh.
Mr. James.
Straight from the heart too, man. Well, we have some really interesting topics we're going to be discussing today. One is, has media as a whole ruined personal dialogue? Or no, reasonable dialogue.
Reasonable.
That's our topic. Sorry, we've already got the line flowing. So has media as a whole ruined reasonable dialogue? Meaning, like, has media in all of its different forms dumbed us down? Has it ruined our dialogue as people and as humans and our ability to connect and share with each other? But before we jump into that topic, I want you to stick around. Tell us your comments on these topics. You can always comment on our feed, and we're going to be switching back and forth between that on this production. We have a whole crew. I want to say thank you so much to Alex and Ashley for coming out and making that happen. Please, if you can, guys, drop your names down below so people can see and show you some love. We're going to get rolling right into it. So quick bullet point on where we stand on this. Has media as a whole ruined reasonable dialogue? We're going to start over here since we did shameless plugs over here. Start with you. What do you think? Bullet point for us real quick. What do you think?
Has media as a whole, yes and no. I feel a lot of days, a lot of time nowadays, and the drinking has really started kicking in. I feel like we're really fueled by, it almost feels like propaganda on one side or the other. It's always very extreme to hear about one side's views and then to like calmly talk about one's own. I think it has, because we're always just kind of skewering like our opponents and not really giving an opportunity to have an insight from where they're coming from. So I would say yes.
Yes. Okay.
So I'm kind of Switzerland on this. I absolutely can see the perspective of how it has helped many, many, many people. I mean, even as musicians, we need YouTube and social media to promote ourselves,
Oh, definitely.
right?
Can't live without it.
But the question is, has it ruined reasonable dialogue? And to me, that means the human connection. So taking that standpoint, my perspective on that is, yes, I do believe that it has dampered the ability to have a one-on-one conversation with another human being face-to-face. So that's my stance.
Okay, very, very, very good point. I'm gonna move it to Sid here.
I do not think that media has. I think people have. I think people are in control of their own being. So I think media, it's gotten easier to where we don't interact with people with social media and whatever. But I think if people can choose if they're going to have a civil conversation with someone over something, or if they're gonna just be completely belligerent because they don't agree.
That's interesting.
Fine. Great point. And Seth?
Well, my answer is yes. Although I do know that the media does help with our social interactions, but I think it's also damaged it in a certain way. My prime example is the fact that we can't have certain movies, such as Blazing Saddles, out in theaters anymore.
But I love that movie. That is such a funny movie.
It won't be out because too many people will be screaming about how offensive it is.
Yeah, oh, it's incredibly offensive.
That is basically my take on how this is. It has helped us, but it has hurt us a bit more than it has helped.
So, we've got a mixed group here. This is going to be interesting, and that's the point of our show. We are going to teach America to disagree civilly. So sit around, hang out with us. If you haven't already, make yourself comfortable, pop up your feet, take your phone off the hook. We're going to be getting into this topic real quick. Yeah, I'll fill up your glass of wine. So yes, we've got 2 yeses, some no's. Here's a question for you. If media, when I say media, I mean like every single platform. We're talking video games, we're talking YouTube, we're talking TV, the news, your phone, every single way that media is out there. I see how it could remove you from society and like take you and your physical connection away, but it can also bring together causes and people and create fellowship and experience the human connection in a way that was never even possible before media.
Yeah.
So there's a double-loaded barrel or a double-edged sword here. So I'm going to ask you guys a question. If we didn't have the technological advancements that have happened since 2000, meaning like the advancement in phone technology, media, Twitter, Facebook, everything like that, do you think that people on a day-to-day basis would treat each other differently?
Are you just asking?
Yeah, we'll start with you.
I'm ready to go.
Do you think, sorry about that. Do you think that if we didn't have our phones and we didn't have Facebook, we didn't have YouTube at its entirety as what it is now and all of the different major social media groups, Instagram, the big 5, if we didn't have those, do you think we, as people today, would treat each other differently?
Well, yes, I definitely think we would, because we would be going out more.
Yes.
Well, that's it. We would be going out more, talking more. I mean, we could probably still have movies, or even if we didn't. But
well, that's media right there.
Yeah, but it depends.
It depends. It's a whole other topic.
It depends on what you're looking at, what you do have and what you don't have. If we didn't have all the technological advancements, we would all be talking a bit more and be more understanding of people, but we would also kind of be going backwards with all of, for example, the biggest example, slavery and everything else like that. We would still have that going on.
We wouldn't be able to raise awareness as well as we do today.
We would not.
Gotcha. And what about you, Sid? What do you think? Do you think that if we didn't have all that social media and we didn't have all of the media advancements that have happened since 2000 around today, we would treat people the same? Or if we did treat them differently, how would we treat them differently?
Yeah, I think more I mean, just like he said, like, you would have to go out. And, like, for musicians, I'm not a musician, but, like, you have to go out places and then grab your fans, not just put a video on YouTube or whatever. But, and then that's how you gain
rapport.
That's how you gain, yeah, and personable skills, like how to talk to people and manners. That's a big thing. So
Manners is a huge thing.
yeah, I guess because if we didn't have social media or phones or whatever right now, more kids would be going out and probably behave better than, you know, like parents will talk to their kids instead of their kids just being on tablets at dinner.
Awesome.
Like stuff like that. So
And that even
it's
raises,
good and it's bad, but it's
that
like
even
one of
raises
those
the question of
things.
whether or not it would keep the family together, because, you know, like would we, there's a deeper question right there.
I
You
love
know?
that you're asking that.
Yeah, like is social media tearing apart our families? You know, because you can
Not
think
even
about
just
that.
social media.
I would take a strong stance, even though I don't normally take stances on topics in the show, but I would say that media as a whole has brought us closer together. Cinema, music, YouTube, the different types of, you know, we've raised over $5 million for wells in Africa because of one video. You know, that brings together the dialogue.
That's
for
a
me.
great point.
But also, we can put out. Do you guys remember the video? It's Friday, or whatever.
Oh,
her
by
name
that
is?
girl?
It's fine.
Yes.
Who the hell?
Yeah.
Who's,
Rebecca
talking,
Black.
who's talking about it now? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's some terrible, terrible media. You know, people can buy it and control it with money. Anything they can control with money, I think, is evil.
It was the best thing ever though, because then after the Thanksgiving special, they made a Target commercial, Black Friday.
Oh yeah, that's
They would
right.
make parodies of
And
that.
now you've got people, you know, like with the Xanax culture and media, that spreading to our youth, which is terrible. It's ruining the dialogue that we're having with our children when you have somebody that they look up to outside of the family unit that is telling them it's okay to do drugs.
You know what? That's a whole other thing, though. Not the drug thing. Actually, back to something that you were talking about, which was the media advertising, and how people.
They target certain people.
Yeah,
unfairly.
you can target certain people, and even just like self-aware ads targeting our youth, because that's the only way that anybody's gonna buy anything. Is like, oh, this thing kind of makes fun of itself. Let's check it out. You know?
Yeah, and it's weird, you know, they're more bolder these days with selling sex in the media and like in front of our kids. But we're gonna switch over to the comment feeds real quick so we can address everybody that's tuning on in. And like I said, there are some performances. Thank you guys so much that are just now tuning in and watching. We have the topic for today, and today's discussion is, has media as a whole ruined reasonable dialogue? So thank you guys so much. Thank you, Ruth, Melissa, Dominic, Chris. Oh man, we've had some great comments. I think James T says your name is misspelled. I don't know who he's talking about. My name? Oh.
Monica.
Oh,
My
Monica.
name? Monica?
Uh-oh.
Monica L. Spence.
I will totally fix that right now.
Well, we're
It's
gonna fix
with
that.
a
Thank you
K.
so much. And then Chris, thank you for watching. Dominic, I love you too. Melissa says, hey, Melissa, Samantha, love you, Alex and Samantha. Let's see. Just see you got Josh. Thank
Love
you,
you,
JP.
Carly.
Thank you, Ruth. Thank you, Anthony.
Love you, JP.
Um,
Love you, Deb.
Yeah, so how to talk to people, that's a dying skill. Thank you, Anthony. Yeah. If you guys have any comments on our topic for today, just go ahead and leave them on there. If you think media is ruining us, it's kind of funny that we're asking through Facebook. You know, like, hey, we're having a good dialogue.
exactly. Yeah.
That's the point of this show. We need to disagree civilly and learn how to have that, and that is how we will increase reasonable dialogue in the media.
Mark is gonna have a heyday with this.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah,
what a great background, by the way. Can I say? Like,
oh yeah, this is
I mean-
some artwork, local artwork of
Yeah.
Chris Menemeyer from Texas Music and Art. He painted this for the Whine show. Whine. But yeah, he's an abstract artist. He uses gesso and resin often as his mediums, and he has a really, really, really interesting application to art. If you have any friends, by the way, that make music art, have them tune in. So to keep the topic rolling forward, and also to pose a little bit more questions. Social media is entirely different than, you know, cinema or music. That's agreeable, right? That's interaction
Yes.
with other
that
people.
was actually a point I was gonna make.
Yeah, and these, for our viewers and for those who are a little bit confused, what we're talking about is not just social media, even though it is a huge thing. What we're talking about, all of the different music and influences it has made upon modern pop culture and society, has that decreased or increased our ability to have reasonable dialogue. And my question right now, since we've already gone around and see, we've got some yeses, we've got some nos, and we know how everybody feels, is what would you do to the social media right now or what do you think could be done to social media and to media as a whole to help us have a more human connection?
Oof. That's like a Black
And what are your
Mirror
thoughts at home?
question.
And what are your thoughts at home? Yeah. So I'll start with you.
You know, that's actually a very interesting question considering the scandal that's going on with Facebook right now and with targeted advertising, which is a
Well,
point
tell
that
us
I
about
was
I don't know about it.
point that I was making.
Don't ban us,
earlier.
Facebook.
There's
quite
a
few people.
Cambridge Analytica, which was basically took a quiz. They paid, I think 120,000 Americans or so, but they managed to pull like 5 million Americans like information from like their friends or whatever, and they're basically able to target people, and they sell that info to the RNA, Republican National Convention, and they use that to kind
the
of
RNC.
yeah, sorry, yeah, the RNC. I don't even know what the RNA is.
that's
Please,
I was like-
don't kill me.
RNA
whoever you are.
is in your it's a gene in there, like
Yeah, the RNA is
yeah.
even more my point.
So yeah, look, that media, you're right. Yeah, I think if I see what you're saying here is that ability to access that media because it's reached such a level has now invaded our privacy.
We put a lot of psychology into a lot of personal feelings and stuff into our social media. That's why you'll see people that's why you have the option to put private photos, private thoughts, things that you can only see for yourself. Because maybe, you want to see yourself slowly grow as a person throughout time, what you were keeping hidden and what you're putting out there. And if a company gets a hold of that, they're able to see the things that you actually like, and they're able to learn who you are.
Build a
then
profile. It's profile. Social
exactly.
profile.
Yeah, it's a scary thing, man. So I feel
But-
social media can be a wonderful thing, like you said earlier, but it can also be like any other tool, man. You teach the wrong person to use it for the wrong things, and you can get a lot of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to be very careful about how you put these things down.
Oh yeah, no kidding. And
Not trying to get too deep or anything, guys.
yeah, and
Please
so,
like us on
That
Facebook.
brings us to another question. What about
Please
video
like
games?
us on
Yeah,
Facebook.
yeah. What about video games? Do you think they have helped or hindered? Steph, do you think video games have helped or hindered us and our ability to have human dialogue?
I'm gonna need a second on this one.
I think I see where that was going because if we all probably reach agreement that it has, right? It's gone too far. Video games. I mean, they've got VR sex now.
Well, dude,
Wait, what?
Fight.
Now they've gone too far.
Now we've crossed the
They've
line.
crossed the
That was development.
Well, yeah. Well,
What
that was
propagate-
inevitable as man. Like
What
we were
propagates
kinda-
new media sources is usually video games and porn.
Yeah, media sources exactly. And YouTube is going now. They're charging. They changed? Has anybody heard about what's going on with YouTube and them changing the way that they're paying out royalties and stuff like that for videos and everything?
Is it like every have to have like a 10-minute video more or less, and like
I
have a
think
certain
it
amount
was-
of traffic?
1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, you have to have 1,000
yeah.
subscribers, or like what used to be like 100, and now it's like 1,000. That you have to have.
That it's views, not
Yeah.
subscribers.
No,
You
no,
mean-
no, no. Like it has to be channel subscribers now. Like you have to-
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so no
So
monitor-
media. So like they're
So go
like that reaches
subscribe
back
to all of us
Yeah.
right now. ASAP.
YouTube.com/The Wine No Wine Show.
As you can see, I've been living under a rock.
Okay, I'll ask a more broader spectrum topic rather than video games because I know there's people tearing up the feed right now about it. But what about music? Do you think music has affected us in a
Oh
worse
my
way?
gosh.
Do you think we're better off? I mean, it's hard to ask a harp player, are we better off without the advancements of music, But I'm gonna ask, man. Do you think that? Because you play one of the most ancient instruments, like. Yeah, we're better off without advancements. You come to listen to me play harp because it's beautiful.
No, I don't. I think music has been doing fine, except not a lot of different musicians get a lot of exposure nowadays because of all the popular musicians that are coming out. I'm not talking about just pop culture musicians. I'm talking about underground. I'm talking about different kinds of metal, rock and roll. I mean, the margin has been slimmed to how many musicians actually get out there and are recognized since
that's true.
before 2000.
Because everybody can sit at their home and be a rock star now. They can get on
So
YouTube.
Well, anybody can go onto YouTube and be a musician. Anybody can go out and do open mics and still be a musician, but they won't really get as much recognition as, say, Bon Jovi did when he started out.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, that's a huge thing. And for musicians, we have to beg the question: is it helping or hurting us? The advancements in media. because now with more exposure to the little guys, the little fish all over the world that have these incredible talents that may not have the resources and capabilities of going out to a big city like Houston, have the ability to get in front of a camera and broadcast themselves to the world and expand from home, you know. So like, is that helping or hurting the people like us in the cities where there's 100 to 1 people better than us, you know, and we're pounding pavement every single day, really working, and then somebody puts a video up on YouTube in the Midwest, and suddenly they're playing the NRG Stadium, and we've been playing at all the clubs in town for 2-3 years.
That's a question that's going to go off on a tangent because because YouTube's algorithm has been fixed so many times that YouTube is only focusing on what's really popular instead of what's really not.
Yeah.
So, because YouTube musicians are starting to get overplaced by people from Vine who crossed over to YouTube now.
Yeah.
And the big record companies.
Yeah, that. So it's
that.
And
Them.
So
them.
like, I have a question for you. Working, because you've worked in record stores for a long time, sold a lot of CDs, and you see how that media moves as a actual fixed medium, like as an actual tangible medium compared to online. Do you think it would be better for musicians to go solely, like, collect money and work solely through record stores than it would be for it being online? Or do you think that because of media online and the less amount of traffic through a record store, it's better for the artist?
Well, I think it kind of depends on like what kind of music, because working in a record store, like the record store that I happen to work in, everywhere you go, there's a different demographic, and you have to play to your audience, and so I'm always gonna say that I think that everyone should have a CD. Like, I just think that if you're a musician, you should at least do a CD, because that's something that someone can hold. And there's still people, like, even though CDs are dying, whatever, because Target and Walmart are stop selling them, like, that doesn't mean, like, little shops will stop selling them. Like, there's people that still like that. There's still people that have cars that only have cassette tapes. Like, my friend's band, he only does cassette tapes.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I'm like,
there's Total Nightmare only does cassette tapes, too.
yeah, and that's cool, and there's people that still have Walkmans and stuff.
Facebook.com/Total Nightmare.
So I just think that it's good to just have something, a little bit in everything, you know?
So you would say that media and its increased presence online for artists has hurt the community?
I
Our
wouldn't
dialogue
say
as...
it's hurt. Well,
Because that's what our topic is, the dialogue, the experience we're having with humans. Now we're not going to be able to face-to-face see these artists. We're going to have to, go to a show and get a CD. Or, tune in online. I'm sorry.
I mean, if you're like a local person, like, I would rather, like, go to an open mic
and see someone physically.
And be like, yo, do you have a CD on you? And like, yeah, here you go. And I've literally, at open mic, I've gotten at least 3 people, 3 like different like groups or whatever, have like come up to me and been like, hey, here's a stack of CDs, can you put them in your record store? And we do that all the time. People come in all the time and just like, hey, just give those away just to get exposure. Like, it's what you're willing to do, and people will just be like, hey, is this is free? Like, yeah, if you say it's free, it doesn't matter what it is. Someone will be like, oh, if it's free, give it to me. I don't care.
Yeah, I'll throw it in my car and I'll use it as an ashtray later or something.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Social media is now murder for people with mixtapes now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
SoundCloud, have you guys heard about what's going on with that?
What?
No, wait.
Oh, who's the guy that who's the people buying Clear Channel bought YouTube or something like that?
Oh, what?
Did you hear about that?
No.
Is that true? Can we get a fact checker on that? Did Clear Channel buy it? And then, so yeah, like,
Clear Channel.
that's the thing. Yeah, Clear Channel's like one of those, big,
Conglomerates.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a
buy a bunch of
huge,
companies and shit.
yeah, huge
Ashley
conglomerate.
is mean bugging me right now.
And she's like, yeah, you're asking me to fact check.
What am I?
Who bought YouTube? And then there's all different kinds of media companies that are springing up out of nowhere and jumping on the fact that people are getting off of YouTube actively. They're going to sources like Facebook and live streaming, Instagram and live streaming, and relying on those two. And there's been a spike, and Instagram and also in Facebook because of that. Like, they're not paying out as well as most media and advertising agencies policies are. So that's one thing about how media or today's social media can be ruining our dialogue. But on the flip side of that, if I may just turn the conversation around, what is the best thing that you have ever seen happen because of media? We'll start with you on that. What is the best thing that you say, like you would say, like, all right, look, I gotta give it to it. This is like, okay, look. This is the
Justin
best
Bieber,
thing.
2000. No,
Justin Bieber, 2000. I was there, front row center.
If I had to say what was like the greatest thing to come out of media, man.
Don't say MySpace.
Like causes.
Don't say MySpace. Don't say MySpace.
Probably not MySpace, man. My MySpace is. Good luck finding it.
It was solid.
It used to be
I'm
so
actually trying to bring it back
cool.
around.
Do you guys
Straight up,
remember
yeah, my
MySpace
plugins
was so
I'm-
awesome?
It just wasn't good
still-
mobily. You had to have a computer.
Yeah.
It was still awesome.
That's a very good
Mobile
point. Yeah, that's a
devices
lot.
weren't
That's a
doing
good
like
reason
that.
why
Yeah,
nobody.
and nobody
wants
was
that.
really on their phones anyways. Like
Yeah,
it was
they were
back in
still
the day.
It was
flicking
so
MySpace.
new, yeah.
Yeah, everybody had razors at the time.
Yeah, they did.
I think I
If you were
saw that.
lucky.
Dang.
Man.
Everybody had
Oh,
Everybody had razors and razor hair.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the emo hair front. Let's bring back the 90s. So
How you doing?
There's
There's
so many
been-
good things that have come out of media. Like it's one of those things that it can be good or it can be bad. Like if you use it for good things, like
Making connections with people you haven't seen in over 20 years on Facebook and that you thought might have been dead.
What about
Sorry,
property
Taylor.
rights?
Oh. Yeah, no, I say there's a. I don't know if you guys know about the rapper Akon, but he was working in Africa for a long time, and he has been putting out records, putting out media because the money that he did make, he felt obliged to go out and help people, like actually help people. And online, he's created tons of different revenue streams with his online media and the different types of media sources to help fund this project. And I'm not a fan of Akon's music, but I'm a huge fan of him as a person. You know what I mean? Like, I will go to an Akon concert and get drunk as I can get and buy a shirt and everything just because I support him, but I won't really listen to his music. And for me, I think that is very important. Artists face so many different types of struggles when they're dealing with the high pay and temptation that comes with the lifestyle. When you're making thousands of dollars, whether it be at a show physically, whether you're selling CDs, whether people are viewing your YouTube channel, there's a lot of different types of temptation that can come with being that successful. And if you apply that back to social media, you can use and turn around all the different things you're doing to help people in a way that you never could have without media. You know, like without raising money on causes for Facebook, or if you go to SponseEasy or GoFundMe, you know, so how many people have had their lives saved off of GoFundMe, you know? That's
You've also had a lot of
huge thing.
people
raise
that
money
have-
for organs.
You've also had a lot of people that have their lives scammed.
Oh
For
yeah.
those
Because of
things
it.
too as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's always like two sides to that coin, man, and that's what's always
Duality at its finest, for sure.
that's what's always crazy.
Yeah, no kidding. So we're gonna switch back over to addressing some of our viewers. Anthony, thank you for watching. Deborah, she's tuning in. JP, JP says, "Love you too, Shuki Boogie Dopey." What?
Oh no, that's me.
No politics. Okay. And then Deborah says, "Don't let people be anonymous. You're more polite and certainly more accountable if you know people will recognize you." It's a very good point. Thank you, Randall, for tuning in. Alex, Robin, he says, "I'm watching. It looks like a lot of fun. Kind of like the view with the wine." It's a good
You're
one.
Ryan.
So Brian's tuning in. Ryan's tuning in. Thank you guys so much for watching. We are discussing whether or not media and all of its entirety has ruined the ability for reasonable dialogue.
Robin, I don't think we could have I don't think there's such a wrong thing as a right size glass, man. If we can get bigger glasses, we would.
There's no such thing as a wrong size glass. That's awesome. Unless it's too small. But then I just you gotta change it.
Yeah, just get more glasses.
double face.
Right on. So so yeah, we're very happy you're tuning in. Tell us what you think. Give us a comment. Give us some material here to work with. I'm gonna go back to our topic. We were also talking about something very hot that has been happening recently before the show, and I know I'm gonna catch a lot of feedback from some producers and some of the crew on this one. I don't know if we're allowed to talk about it, but I gotta. Trump's talking about doing a death penalty for drug dealers. You heard about that? Yay or nay, you for it or against it? Or Trump doing the death penalty for drug dealers?
I'm against it. If it's just for drug dealing, I'm against it.
Really? What if it's like 20 pounds of cocaine in your car or in your garage?
20 pounds of cocaine in your garage can get you 25 to like 48.
Yeah.
I'm just taking a guess here. I didn't graduate law school. I'm just thinking you should be in prison definitely for selling stuff, but the maximum sentence is literally the maximum sentence. You
Yeah,
should
but we
be-
want to know what you guys think too. Just a little side topic for today while we're getting back to it. What do you think, Sid?
So Trump is when he's talking about drug dealers, he's talking about people that sell like opiates, and so his whole thing with this is trying to cut down the opiate addiction problem. And so I think if you are a dealer like that, and then maybe you deserve the death penalty. I don't know. It's
It's a good one.
situational, I guess.
I feel like, so drug dealers, if you're to kill them, that's not really solving the root of the problem. So you're not really doing any beneficial,
Service.
any service, yeah. By giving a drug dealer a death penalty, you're just creating new drug dealers. So I disagree with giving the death penalty to drug dealers, because you're not solving any problem, and
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good point. You know what? I can tell that there's going to be a lot that people have to say about this. We're going to get one more viewpoint, and then we're going to switch over to something really, really, really cool. So just tell us what you think real quick.
So, also, do you guys have like an F-bomb sign thing or whatever?
don't do it.
But I will
The
say,
views and beliefs of the guests on the show do not directly reflect that of the Whine to Whine show and its owners and or producers.
but they do reflect
So
mine, as far as my own opinion goes. But I will say, hey, it's super fucked up.
F-bomb.
Fine.
Yeah, F-bomb.
Get the sign, please.
I don't think it's right. And
This F-bomb is brought to you by Xavier Guevara.
Guevara?
This-
Close enough. Blue Doom.
Clickable
Blue
moment.
Doom.
So you said, what was your opinion on that last topic?
I think it's fucked up, man. I don't think it's right. And I'll hold my own F-bomb. Thank you. And I think it's fucked up
He's
because
proud of
All right,
I
just don't
mean-
use the F word again.
I think it's wrong, man. I just think we've already had enough issues with minorities being arrested on small marijuana charges. You look at marijuana. Thank you. You look at marijuana and you think it's considered, I think, a class. It's on the same class as meth. So when somebody says, "Oh, well, somebody's like
That's
selling
Schedule
meth,"
1, not
yeah, So somebody says it's on par with meth. You know, who's to say what's on par with what? They're all the same. Kill them all. You could be arrested for a small thing. You could even be planted because there is video surveillance of police officers, and I'm not against police officers in any way.
I gotta hold you right there because I was just getting a taste of this topic. If you guys like this and you think this is something juicy, you can always flip over to tomorrow's episode. Might be discussing it there, or you could catch us next week where we go live at 7. Right now, we have to get on to our music portion of the evening.
It's going to be juicy.
Oh, now that I know everybody's nice and tuned up and warmed up with
Oh,
the
yeah.
wine, what we're gonna do is go ahead and say, screw civil disagreement for right now. We are very, very happy that we could hang out today and enjoy everybody's differing opinions, but we're going to do something that's going to bring us together. Would you mind playing us one of the songs that you brought into the studio?
Would I?
Would you? Awesome. And like I said, while they're getting ready, the regular Whine to Whine show is scheduled on Fridays to go live at 5 every single Friday, where you can tune in and catch all different types of controversial topics. This is the Artist Edition. Every Thursday we go live at 7, talking about all these different topics as well. And we're also going to be promoting local music, local art, and bringing together a community of musicians and artists here in Houston to avoid the civil disagreement and disagreements that typically occurs within the music art industry. This is Xavier. He's going to be playing some of his songs for you. So we're going to switch over our audio, and Xavier's going to take it on away. Would you mind handing him that
And then we gotta pull the old switcheroo here.
No, you gotta...
Yeah.
Just sit right here, and I'll just
Oh.
hold the microphone.
Wait,
Just
bring the mic to
Xavier,
you.
go ahead and grab right here.
Of that.
That's what I'm at.
Well, I was very, very confused.
No, you're good.
But
You're
it might
good.
be the
I'll get you.
wine.
Oh, dude, the wine is definitely
Sure,
helping.
it's a contributing factor.
But you guys stay tuned. We have some amazing music coming out for you.
is what
Am
I
I in
was.
your way? I feel like I might be in your
No,
way.
I think you're fine. I think your way's okay. I think it's what I was spinning about earlier. So, am I good to go?
Are we ready to rock, team? Thank you very much. We are good to go. This is Xavier.
So this is called You Promise, and it's by Blue Doom. Check us out on Facebook. Comprehend what it means to be me. Don't pretend you don't like what you see. All your friends and your threats don't scare me. Don't pretend you don't got all these things to me. Oh, nothing. It's all for nothing. It's all for something. It's all for nothing. You left me wanting. You're complicating me. You will. You're complicating me. You will. Comprehend what it means to let me. Don't pretend you don't like what you see. All your friends and your threats don't scare me. Don't forget what you said. You promised me. Thank you.
All right, you can hand that back to Ash. Dude, that was great. Can we switch back over to regular mic? All right. So, dude, what was the name of that song?
That was You Promised.
You Promised.
Yeah.
Wow, dude, that was a really cool song, man. That's an original Blue Doom, huh?
Yeah. That was like
What's
a
that?
week
You
ago.
said "Yo me muero." What's that mean for people?
Yo me
who don't-
muero? That means I'm dying. Which, you know, taking a romantic sense.
All right, on, right.
I'll let you wonder about what
We're
that
gonna
means.
grab Monika's guitar real quick and get that going, and switch her preset. So just give us 1 second. We're gonna keep the music rolling. That was one more time the name.
You Promised.
You Promised by Blue Doom, and you can catch them on Facebook.com/Blue Doom, right?
What's it, Harley?
Blue
No, you
Doom.
can totally get in my way. Don't worry about it.
Blue Doom Band.
Blue Doom Band
I'm
on
good with it,
Facebook,
thank
you.
and then if you want to see them live, you can also go to Facebook or go to Avant Garden
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays. Just trying to turn it here real quick. There we go. Thank you guys. Teamwork making the dream work. Okay, is that good enough for you there,
I
Monika?
think so.
All right, we're all ready to roll. You guys stay tuned. This is Monika. We're gonna switch over the audio and get it going. Just introduce yourself and let us know the song.
Hey guys, my name is Monika Leigh, and this song is called Dust. Baby, oh just makes me want you even more. What else is there to say? Come around here, baby, on and just might get my way. I'll show you what, yeah, real woman's like. Make you fall in love before the end of the night. What else is there to say? I'm around here, baby, on I just might get my way. Baby, oh, you see the way I move. Looking at me, oh, you like the way I groove. Feeling my tomate, don't leave me dust in the wind. Keep on coming round here, baby, oh, and I just might give in. Keep on coming round here, baby, oh, and I just might give in.
Good job. You can hand that back to Ash. We're gonna switch over to the audio.
Dude, that was
And
dope.
that was awesome.
Thank
That was
you.
great. So, what was the name of that song?
It's called Dust.
Dust. Is there a place we can find that online?
Yes,
Put this back over
so iTunes. If you go to iTunes again, type in my name, Monika Leigh, MONIKA LEIGH. I have an EP there and some other stuff that I've done. Also Facebook and Instagram, Monika Leigh. Just go there. Spell it correctly.
All right. Sorry about that, guys. We were changing out some instruments. Always a text job, always a text dream, right, guys?
Thanks.
We're gonna be keeping it going. We're just gonna get Steph set up with his harp real quick and plug him in. So
He was
give us 1
literally.
sec. Get that for you. There you go, bud. If you haven't had a chance already, make sure you follow, like, subscribe to Facebook.com/The Whine No Whine Show. You can go to YouTube.com/The Whine No Whine Show.
He's gonna be on YouTube.
And we're going to keep it going. Just give us 1 second here. I'll
There
pull
you
this
go.
pull this in. You can
Perfect.
turn it towards us just a little bit, where we can see your face on the camera. How are we doing, crew? We doing okay?
Whenever you're
The
ready.
team is awesome. The team is ready. We're gonna go. We're switching the audio over. This is Steph. Steph, real quick before we switch the audio on over, we can still hear you. Real quick, Steph. Just tell us what this song is and where we can find you.
Oh, well, you can find me on YouTube, but this will not be on YouTube. Or you could just find me on Facebook.
Cool.
But this is going to be. I'm gonna play a cover of Bon Jovi's "Living on a Prayer."
Oh, I love it.
Okay.
Yes.
Here you go.
You guys might not be able to hear it because it's plugged into the
Yeah,
system.
we're gonna be
but
running DIN on this one. So go ahead. Let's back over.
Yeah!
Great freaking job, man.
That
Great
was
job.
so
awesome.
And you can just move that over to the side if you want. That was freaking amazing, ladies and gentlemen. That was Steph Overton. Live here, you saw it here at the Whine Show on Facebook. So give us a like, give us a subscribe if you like that one. Also, you can find Steph Overton over there, you know, on Facebook, on YouTube, right? But that song's not on YouTube. That one's by Bon Jovi.
Yeah, we didn't get the good version of that. We just heard like the acoustic electric version.
Wow, that was so incredible to hear Blue Doom and Monika and Steph. That was just so wonderful.
You
And
guys are talented.
oh, incredibly, man. I feel like a freaking chopped liver over here with it.
Okay, yeah, I can't do nothing, man.
No way. So thank you guys, Brian, April. Yes, thank you so much for watching. April, of course, loved you. Deborah, Daryl, Shelly, thank you. Corley, yeah, Faith, Daryl, Brian, Johnston, thank you so
Jojo,
much.
JP.
Charlie, Sylvia, you guys are awesome. Rhonda, thank you for also coming in and checking it out. In the meantime, if you guys haven't had a chance to see what our topic is, it's right up there in the corner, or it's right below, depending on if you're on your phone or on your mobile device. The topic is, has media as a whole ruined or helped our ability to have reasonable dialogue? But I guess it's changed a little bit here. We seem to have all agreed that we can disagree about this one. I think this is a first stalemate we have reached in the Whine Show, where there's just too much on both sides to argue the point, and I can see how that may be as well. So if you guys want to see what happened earlier, or you want to tune in next week, Thursdays at 7 is when we go live. Real quick, let's go around and do a shameless plug so people can find your music. We started first shameless plugs with you, Steph, so over here, why don't you just plug this back in like you did there in the beginning.
Thank you guys once again for tuning in. My name is Xavier Guevara. Good luck spelling that.
Guevara.
Yeah, it's good.
Hey.
Man.
Totally
Now everybody knows.
It's right.
It's
It's under your name, yeah.
Oh, give away my secrets, Alex. Thanks.
Magic.
Blue Doom is the band. You can find us on Facebook.com/Blue Doom, and I will try to keep you guys as updated as possible about that because music is my passion. I love it, just as everybody else here does, and I can't wait to see your faces.
Aw, that was sweet. Again, for the 15th time, Monika Leigh, spelled correctly MONIKALEIGH. Instagram is Monk Leigh, so MONKLEIGH, and YouTube is Monkleigh1, like the number.
Alrighty.
That's a lot of changes.
My plug's gonna be the Whine Show, man. Watch us, check us out. Also, we are in fact going live every single Friday, 5 p.m. And if you haven't got a chance to already on Instagram, we're gonna be going live after this video with the after production, behind the scenes kind of live video with everybody, our cast, crew, directors. Yeah, and everybody also that's watching in the other room. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Go over to Instagram /the Whine Show and see what we're going to be getting into for the rest of the night. Or you can go to Facebook.com, click on our videos tab, click on all videos. I know it lists 2, but click on all videos and you can see every artist edition, every regular edition. This is in fact the 22nd artist edition, so I will drink to that. I know if you guys don't have some here, but
that's okay.
I want a
we'll drink
bit.
to it.
Let's go clean.
Sid, what's your plug for today?
So I'm plugging the Peel Palace. For Michelle, the owner, could not be here today, so I'm kind of taking her place. And so yeah, we have a bunch of specials. So go online, call us, schedule an appointment.
Mention the Whine Show.
Come see us. Mention the Whine Show. We have a lot of cool stuff coming up, so just give us a call.
You want a free microdermabrasion? Go on to Peel Palace. Mention that you saw Sydney or myself on the Whine Show, and you want a free microderm. We're going to give it to you. Go ahead. Steph.
What do I do for a plug?
Just tell us where we can find you. Yeah, the wine's been going around. Tell us where we can find you and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I'm Steph Overton. You can just you can find me on YouTube or well, my name was up there. You can.
It's still there.
These one.
Oh, just type my name in, and you can find me on Facebook easily. That's where I can answer people most. So that's
Social media.
that's
There you go.
basically it. Yeah.
Right on. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the show. That's going to be a wrap for us today. We're going to be closing it up here a little bit earlier than usual, but you can switch over to Instagram. You can follow us on the Whine Show page on Instagram. My name's Harley. I'm your host. Very happy to be here. Alex, thank you guys so much. Ashley, thank you guys so much. And let's not forget Samantha behind the scenes working very hard as well. So
Thanks, Sam.
thank you guys. We're gonna go ahead and get on out of here. We've had a great show. We've had a great time hanging out with you.
Cheers.
And as always,
Clean.
don't forget we can civilly disagree.
Clink.
That is a drinkable moment.